Hello, everyone. This is Criminal Profiler Pat Brown, and this is Dear Profiler Pat, where you send me your questions and ask for some advice, and I give you some, and I hope it helps. And I hope it helps the viewers as well. If you would like me to answer one of your questions, please do send it to profilerpatbrown@gmail.com, and in the subject line, put Dear Profiler Pat, so I know what it's about. All right. This is a question I'm going to say a good portion of the population asks all the time. Dear Profiler Pat, why can't I lose weight? Now, oftentimes when I wake up in the morning and I go in the bathroom and I look in the mirror, I say to myself, why can't I lose weight? Because I'm right there with you. And it's such a frustrating thing, especially as you get older in life. It just seems to be harder and harder to lose weight because just the way it works with bodies, especially with females, because, you always hate it when you're female and some dude comes along, probably your husband, or in my case, my son, who says, well, I'm eating this many calories and I'm still losing weight. I'm like, that's because you're a dude. You're a guy. Guys lose weight much more quickly than women. Women, we struggle along. And yet we do remember, maybe if we were ever thin in our lives, that we somehow managed it at one time. But here we are. We're like, I love it when you could say, I just wish I could lose that last 10. Yeah, I'd like to lose that last 10. Well, after I lose the last 40. but it's very frustrating. Unfortunately, the answer is always the same. You eat too much. I always know that I'm eating too much to lose weight. And this is one of my favorite little cartoons. I just had a physical. The doctor said, don't eat anything fatty. And I said, like bacon and burgers? And he said, no fatty, don't eat anything. Which is about what you got to do to lose weight. Just don't eat anything. Works really well. Now, I have fasted in my life. I done a fast about a number of months ago. I fasted for 20 days straight on just water. I felt fine. I mean, in the beginning, like the first few days, you feel like the third and fourth day, you feel kind of crappy. And you think, oh, I don't want to do this. But after that, you stop being hungry, kind of like Ozempic, right? But natural. And I lost 10 pounds. And I've kept those 10 pounds off. I just haven't freaking lost more because I keep changing my diet, trying desperately to find a way to lose without having to fast and without using Ozempic. Now, you might ask, why I won't use Ozempic, Pat Brown? I just do not like drugs. And I consider anything I put in my body a drug, and I just don't trust the long-term effects. And now, mind you, some people say, the way I've been able to lose weight on Ozempic, because Ozempic keeps you from being hungry, because guess what you do then? You don't eat much. Sometimes you hardly eat anything. It's kind of like amphetamines. When you take amphetamines, same thing happens. A lot of women were on phentermine. That was a super popular thing. Phentermine, well, you take phentermine, you clean your house, you do a whole bunch of stuff, and at the end of the day, you go, oh, I forgot to eat, because you never think about it. Because that's what drugs does to you. In phentermine, it does to your brain. Apparently, Ozempic does something in your abdominal region, your stomach, that causes some kind of whatever that just makes you not want to eat. Some people say it makes you nauseous too, and a few other things. But some people who are very overweight, they're desperate because the situation they're in is that their blood pressure is way too high. They're scared of this and scared of that, and they're like, I'm just going to weigh out pros and cons. I'm going to say there may be long-term effects with Ozempic, maybe even effects now, but I just got to get this weight off. So I'm just going to take that crap. And they've been very successful at it. And then there's people who probably aren't in any desperate situation. It's just that they're fatter than they'd like to be, like 30 pounds fatter, 50 pounds fatter, maybe fat, maybe obese, whatever you are. Just, you look in the mirror and you go, oh, God, and it's hard to find clothes that look good. Okay, so you say, screw it. I'm going to take that Ozempic and look how great I look now. And then, sometimes they'll tell their friends and family, yes, I took Ozempic. And other times they'll go, no, I just ate really carefully. We know some celebrities who are saying, I just did exercise and I ate a good diet. And you're like, get out of here. We just know you're lying. Because Ozempic works very quickly. And so people take it because they're willing to throw the dice, and they feel like what they want badly enough to take the risk on Ozempic. And we don't know yet what Ozempic's going to do in the long run because it's very new. I personally just don't feel comfortable taking the risk. I just don't like putting things in my body. I don't know what the hell they are. And, but I would like those results. I think sometimes, oh my God, I could just get this over with. I need to lose 40 pounds. I would just love to take this crap. And then, by the next year, I would be the perfect weight and I put on the pretty clothes again. Part of me is going, so I'm gonna get to the point where I'm willing to roll the dice, or should I keep trying to find a good diet that I can lose slowly, or should I just keep fasting every 3 months and maybe that'll work? It's so frustrating. And I know people say, oh, well, you just need to do more exercise. I'll tell you something. Exercise really doesn't knock it off your body. Unless you're doing marathons, that works. Marathons, mountain climbing, extreme exercise definitely works. But for the most part, people say, well, I walk every day for 30 minutes. I'm like, well, it's good. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Walking is great for your health. The famous European thing, you take a walk after dinner. It's wonderful for you. It does. Do you lose a few pounds? Sure, but you don't lose much. But it does. It's good for your body and good for everything. You should definitely walk. I play pickleball. I play table tennis. And if I could find people to walk with, I would walk with them, but I hate walking alone. And I do have a treadmill, which I can put virtual tours on, and I can walk through cities and stuff, which is pretty cool. But I prefer to do it with people at the same time. That's really fun when you go with a friend or a relative, and you click on your laptop or YouTube at exactly the same time, and you go and you click on it. And you both start the walk, and you're walking through the city together like you're really walking there. It's really cool, really fun. And I love that, but I have trouble finding people available at the right time to, do that with me. So I get frustrated with that sometimes. So yes, does exercise help? Yes, it helps. But let's face it, it's really about eating way less calories than your body would like to stay stable. To stay stable, you got so much, and then you just got to really knock it down if you're trying to lose more than like a pound a month. So if you've got a lot of weight to lose and you want to lose 2 pounds a week, you better be eating some lettuce leaves. I know people say, oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah, no, it isn't really. You got to eat so lightly, like under 500 calories if you're female, to get to the point where you could lose that kind of weight on a regular basis. But then who wants to do that for a long time? So that's why people quit. They're like, I'm done with this. I just want to sit down and have a nice meal. I want to go out with my friends. And also alcohol, of course, adds calories. So if you want to go out with your friends and have some margaritas and crap, you're going to gain weight. And I'm not a doctor, so don't come after me and say, well, you just don't understand things. You're not a nutritionist or a doctor. No, I'm just a realist, and it sucks. It sucks. So yes, there are ways to lose weight, but they all require either medication, fasting, or a very good diet that you really are lowering the calories. Now I know some people think, well, you just don't just get rid of all the carbs, and that does seem to work to some extent if you can stand eating a whole pile of meat and eggs and fish. I find it kind of gross, but some people have had success with that, getting the carbs out of the diet. And I think that does work pretty well. So, but you got to find something that works for you. And unfortunately, what always happens, well, most time, is that we don't enjoy it that much. We don't enjoy going to the lifestyle that really would help us out and is long term. People say, oh, you need to change your lifestyle. Yeah, but that's the reason we're not living that lifestyle is because we don't want to. It's not a thrill to us. We'd rather live the lifestyle we're living, but just not get fat. But it's hard because unfortunately, a lot of us live lifestyles which do include eating too much food, eating too much good food, going out to restaurants, whatever. So it's tough. And so I would say, don't feel bad if you're struggling with it, because a good portion of us are. And do what works for you. I'm not going to say don't take meds or don't do this and don't do that. If you can find something that works for you and you're willing to, whatever the risk factor might be, fine. Do what you got to do. But sometimes it's just a really hard thing, and I just wish American clothes would cover up more of the body than they do, because there are places in the world that have much better outfits for overweight women. I don't know about you dudes, but for overweight women, it would be nice to have. In India, they have salwar kameezes, which you can get in a bigger size, and they still look really pretty. And of course, there's muumuus in Hawaii. Actually, I think most people don't wear them so much there anymore, but Africa has some really nice clothes for heavier women, but the U.S., basically just it's very hard to find good stuff, unless you get some, rich and you get some designer wear and all that stuff. But it's tough. So just you can't lose weight because you're eating too much. That's the simple thing it comes down to. You know that's it. And if you can eat less, you'll lose weight. But you have to find a way to do that you can stand doing. And it isn't, people say, oh, you gain all the weight back because the diet didn't work. No, the diet worked. The problem is you got sick of the diet. That's why you gained it back. That's all. It's not because the diet didn't work. If you fast for 3 weeks and lose 10 pounds, you've lost 10 pounds. When you start eating again, you don't gain the 10 pounds back. You don't. You will maintain that weight unless you've always been overeating. And the problem when you're always overeating is you tend to be always gaining weight. You're always gaining weight. So when you lose weight on a diet, the problem is when you go back to eating regularly, you're eating the amount of food that causes you to gain weight again. It's not the diet that's the problem. It's the overeating stuff. So don't eat that stuff, Patty. Well, how was it said? I just love the way it's said. Yeah. The doctor said, don't eat anything fatty. Yeah. No, he said, no fatty, don't eat anything. And that's just a reality. So know that it is a reality, and just keep working at it, keep trying, and understand that it is not an easy thing, especially as you're getting older. It sucks. And I'm going to keep trying. And so, one day if I get back to the weight I'd like to be, which is 140 pounds, I will do a video and I will go, well, dear Profiler Pat, how did you lose weight and I can't? And then I'll be all smug, Don't I wish? Anyway, I hope this just helps you just feel, I don't know, just accepting the way things are sometimes. And it's a difficult thing, but just eat as healthy as you can. Enjoy life as much as you can. Yes, sure, add exercise, do better things, all that stuff. Go up into the mountains and don't come back for a month, and you'll probably be, a month, a year. Don't come back for a year, and you might be the right weight when you return. I'll meet you up there. Anyway, thanks for being here. Bye.